All right, looks like it's on. Okay, so Tim, just tell me. First of all, just introduce yourself.
I'm Tim. I'm from Dumont. I was diagnosed in 2004 with Hashimoto's thyroiditis.
In 2004.
2004.
So this is 2011.
Yes,
Okay.
yes, it's 7 years ago.
So how old were you in 2004? That's what? 8 years ago. 44. Okay.
Yeah. And like I said, I was diagnosed by endocrinologist in England Hospital with Hashimoto's disease,
okay,
which was hypothyroid, and he prescribed Levoxyl for me.
Okay.
And he said in 6 to 8 months I'll feel like a new man. Well, it didn't happen. I went to my general practitioner.
Well, how were you feeling? Let's go by that. How were you feeling?
I felt a little bit better after I got out of the hospital. Medication did help, but not to the way that he told me it would. And I kept going back to him.
But how did you wind up in the hospital? What was going on? Wind up in the hospital?
I almost passed out in the bathroom. And this was like 2 o'clock in the morning. They took me in the ambulance to the hospital. They didn't know what was wrong with me. They ran all these tests. And then 2 days later, this endocrinologist comes in the room and says, "We finally know what's wrong with you."
Which was a Hashimoto's hypothyroid.
Yeah.
And the answer was Levoxyl.
Levoxyl, he prescribed, and he says we're going to have to adjust it. So I'll prescribe, low dose, and we'll take it from there.
Okay.
So I kept seeing him for like a year and a half, 2 years. He told me I'd feel better, like I said, in 6 to 8 months after I was in the hospital, but that didn't come true. And then.
Were you feeling worse? Were you overall feeling worse?
No, I could live, but I was just sluggish. I was, fatigued, tired. I was waiting for that day to happen where, I'm me again.
Right. And it never happened?
It never happened.
And what about the other parts, the mood, the depressions and stuff?
Oh, yeah, I was going through bouts of depression, take off work a few times, days here, a few days there.
How bad was the depression?
Oh, some were really bad. Real bad. I didn't feel like living anymore.
And so you also were under the guidance of a psychiatrist?
Yes, I
also?
was, yeah.
So you're being medicated for that component of it also?
Yeah, I was being medicated for depression.
How is it affecting your relationship with your family? Just in general, just things that you did in your life.
They kept looking out for me a little bit more than they used to, because they knew something was wrong. And
how's that making you feel?
Good and bad in a way. I'm a grown man. I have people looking after me.
Right.
But it was good to know that I did have people looking after me because something wasn't right.
Okay. So how'd you find your way here to this office?
I was searching for years for an answer for something. I was going through magazines, and all these doctors proclaiming this and that and the other thing. Read books, ordered books. I didn't find anything then. I was looking through the Twin Borough back in October, and matter of fact, I have it in the car of a little article, little ad or whatever, thyroid problems. And I looked at it. Thyroid problems. I read it. You're fatigued. It hit like 90% of what I was going through. And it said there's going to be a seminar or a little talk in Oradell, Dr. Pucci's office. I never heard of the doctor. Might as well give it a shot. Right. So I told my girlfriend. I made 2 reservations. And I came.
Right. But the reality was, you almost didn't come, right?
Yeah.
The weather was lousy that night, and it's like your mood was down, and it was like easy to say forget about it.
My girlfriend even said, "I'm surprised you're coming tonight."
Right.
And so I came.
But she kind of pushed you a little bit, right? And said,
a little bit, yeah.
Okay. So, all right, you learned a few things at the talk. All right, things you already understood, but
everything that you described hit me to the T. And my girlfriend even said, "That's you right there."
Okay. What would you say to anybody thinking about maybe, what would you say is different about what we do or the approach, or what are you doing differently in your life that's making an impact?
Well, you diagnosed me after I took a blood test of gluten sensitivity.
Okay.
So I cut out all the gluten in my diet, and I tell you, I feel a lot better.
So you made dietary changes?
Yes, I have, and I feel a lot better. Drinking.
How long have you been under care at this point?
By you or by my?
Yeah, no, with us, right?
About 2 months.
About 2 months.
About 2 months.
And how would you say that you feel now than you felt 2 months ago?
Oh, I feel much better. Much better. I haven't felt like this since before 2004.
So 8 years.
Yeah.
looking for these things, right?
Yeah. I think I might have found the answer.
Okay. So for anybody who's watching, because I know you said that you had a lot of, I guess, hesitancy even when you started the program, because again, you've heard people saying,
Oh yeah, yeah. It's normal to be a little skeptical.
right.
You know, what am I, getting into here?
Mm-hmm.
But it's working.
So for anybody else who's in your shoes, who's dealing with a thyroid disorder, specifically even a Hashimoto's autoimmune thyroid disorder, who is kind of living in despair and saying, you know what, there's just no help for me, what would you say to them at this
I've
point?
been there. Make the call Dr. Pucci's office, and talk to him, make an appointment, do something.
That's great. Okay, that's great, Tim. Anything else you want to add to that?
Do it now. Don't wait
Okay.
like I did. It's been 7-8 years.
All right, my man. Awesome. All right, good for you. Glad you're doing better, honestly.